My God, what a day in the history of the Indian footballers who are watching this, because it is the Mohan Bagan Super Giants who have got those big victories against the likes of Odisha, and it is the likes of Real Madrid where they have Modric scoring it so good against Paulo Gazzaniga. But here we are for the game between Bayern and Frankfurt, which is live from the Alliance Arena. And to talk about this game, I mean, this is going to be a big one because FC Bayern are going to celebrate this Thursday their 125th anniversary. And this game, Bayern against Frankfurt, Bayern are having those big numbers talking because it is in the Bundesliga table where they are at the top. But Frankfurt, they have got their man Marmoush to Manchester City. And to talk about that game, it is also the likes of Manchester City and Liverpool, which is also going to happen. Manchester City has got those thrashing defeats this season. Pep Guardiola's men not looking that consistent, but it is also that man Marmoush from Frankfurt who will be making those happenings. But it is Bayern and Frankfurt at the Alliance. Looking at the lineups, if we get a quick watch of it, because the game is about to begin at any time. It is Sane who has been picked on the left wings. It is Thomas Muller on the lineups. Oh my God. Let me make those lineups look good. Let me make those lineups good. It is some sort of mistakes. I have put in Harry Kane on the lineups. Oh my God, that is my mistake, guys. That is my mistake. That is my mistake in the lineups. Let me just correct it. It is Bayern who have got the likes of Muller on the starting lineups the first time this season because Harry Kane is off for some injuries, and Muller, Thomas Muller, that legend, he has been given those moments to be happening. And yes, definitely the lineups have now been confirmed. Yes, it is not Harry Kane, it is Thomas Muller who is going to be there. It is Thomas Muller who is going to be there. Let us just get the lineups correct again. Yes, the lineups have been corrected and Muller has been just picked on it. Yes, we have got Muller on the lineups. We have Sane on the left wings, Olise on the right wings. But Pavlovic and Kimmich, Goretzka hasn't been picked up on the mid-pitch. Vincent Kompany's men have to make those numbers counting if they are going to get some sort of big moments on the pitch. Definitely, if they are going to get some sort of big numbers on the pitch counting, they have to get those big numbers talking to them, because it is Hiroki Ito who has now been picked on the left backs. Alphonso Davies is on those injuries, but yes, Davies is back in those lineups, but he is not that fit. Harry Kane has those injuries, but no, to talk about them, Harry Kane is also available on the substitutions. But talking about the rest, which Vincent Kompany has to make, and this game, it is due to the pressure of the Bayern fans. Vincent Kompany has to make this decision to happen because he is really going with the likes of the same lineup time and again, and that is definitely not going to happen for him. That is definitely not going to happen to him. And on the defensive lineup, it is Kim Min-jae and Eric Dyer, the two center backs. Manuel Neuer on the goalkeeping positions. Daniel Peretz still not being tested because he is on those abdominal injuries. Let us have a quick look of the lineup for Liverpool as well. And to talk about this, just have a look of the Liverpool lineup, a short glance of it. We will take it because the game is about to begin over here. Liverpool at the top of the table, but with this lineup, what they have got, it is really something. Arne Slot is making bid. Salah as usual, the goal scorer. Luis Diaz on the center forwards. Neither of Nunes, Jota or Chiesa has been picked up. Gakpo is in some sort of injuries, but he is available for the substitutions. Szoboszlai on those attacking midfields with the likes of Gravenberch and McAllister being there. Jones have been moved to the left wings. My God. KSR not given those first lineup appearances still now. Arne Slot is not giving those first lineup for KSR to be happening. That is something which Arne Slot has to think. Neither Jota has been given. It is the likes of Jones, McAllister, Gravenberch, Szoboszlai and Salah on the flanks as well as on the mid pitch. Some sort of tactical aspects where Liverpool will give it up against Manchester City, because this game Liverpool has to win it big, because in the previous fixture Liverpool faced Manchester City. That was a 2-0 win at the Anfield, and prior to that in the Premier League it was a draw. It was a draw again, and it was last in 2023 April where Manchester City had managed to win a game. And on to the head-to-head comparison, it is those 16 wins for Liverpool, 14 draws and 10 wins for Manchester City. That is all from this, and the score lines are available also on our panel to have a watch of it. We will be having the watch along of Real Madrid and Girona. Real Madrid has got that 1 goal. We will be having the watch along of Bayern and Frankfurt as well. The game has started, and yes, Manchester City and Liverpool also the talking terms we will be having on this. So that was the starting lineup for Liverpool. And getting back to our aspect of Bayern, on the other hand, with this lineup, are they going to make it big? Are they going to make it anything big? It is 2 minutes on the watch. Set your timers. It is now Thomas Muller on the starting lineups. Will he be seen much into the action, because he hasn't got those big play times? He hasn't got those big play times in his bag this season. It is the first time Vincent Kompany has been seen making changes, bringing in Hiroki Ito. Yeah, you can say that he was back to injuries. I mean, he was down to injuries. That is what the reason he wasn't being picked. But Alphonso Davies is also back from the injuries in the training sessions, and yes, but he is available on those substitutions. Kim Min-jae still staying on those centre backs. The last game which Kim Min-jae has done those big blunders, that was something not at all good from those aspects of those defensive which we talk about in the modern football, and that too when you are playing in the top league across the globe. But now Eric Dyer is there because Upamecano in the training session has got those some back injuries, and yes, he is doubtful, but he is definitely going to be available. Harry Kane is also back from the injuries on the substitutions, but then also he has been given those rest. But it is time for Mo Salah to perform. He has to get those numbers counting in this new year. He has been doing good in the first half of the season, but in the second half of the season, much of those aspects in the 2 months, January and February, much hasn't been seen from him. It is some sort of character which Vincent Kompany has to develop with this team ongoing. Pavlovic on the midfields, it is Kimmich, but on the right backs, it is Lima. I mean, Sacha Boe is also not given those opportunities as well. And to talk about Bayern and Frankfurt in the head-to-head, it is 20 wins for Bayern and 5 draws and 5 wins for Frankfurt. But the previous time they faced each other, it was a draw 3-3 against Frankfurt. That was something big disheartening, because that was Marmoush getting those 2 goals in those counters. It was Etitike, but Etitike is the man who has been left alone at Frankfurt, whereas Marmoush has got those transfers. From Bayern, it was Kim, Upamecano and Olise in the previous leg. They got those 3 goals. That was the game where anything could have happened, but the late stoppage time goal from Marmoush got those equalizers. And in the second half, that was something disheartening from Bayern in the first leg, because they were getting those moves but not getting those finishings. Olise getting those Kimmich inside the box, had an opportunity for Sane, nowhere near it. Neither he takes a jump to get those headers. Damn it, Sane, we need those performances from you in this game. Otherwise, it is a rest time, baby. It is a rest time. You need to take those rest. No more sympathy. No more apology. It is those high time where you have to perform, because to talk about Bayern, I mean this month as well as the next month, where Bayern are going to get the fixtures, it is the Leverkusen which they faced after the Celtic second leg in the Champions League. Against Leverkusen, that was a draw. Again, a mistake. It is some sort of opportunity for ATTK to score the number 11 from Frankfurt, but this time not clinical. Frankfurt are making those moves. Yes, talking about the fixtures of Bayern, they faced Leverkusen after that second leg win over Celtic. I mean, that was a draw on an aggregate. Bayern got those. It is now Frankfurt. Next, they have Stuttgart on 1st of the March, but it is on March 6th again Leverkusen for the first leg of the Champions League. It is the home at Allianz. The first leg Bayern have to play at home, and again in the Bundesliga it is Bochum. They will be playing, that is at the Allianz, but the other game will be Leverkusen's second leg, that is at the Bay Arena, where Bayern will be facing it. Oh my God, big worries. Bayern has got this fixture next 2, 3, 4, 5. I mean, out of those 5 fixtures, 5 of the matches which Bayern are going to play against the likes of Frankfurt, Stuttgart, and Leverkusen, 3 of them are in the top 4 positions. But Bayern are still dominating on that first spot. Bayern are still dominating on that first spot. But with this lineup, can Vincent Company get those big numbers talking? Because he hasn't got those tests so good. He hasn't got those tests of his players so good. Kim Min-jae and Eric Dyer. Eric Dyer hasn't got those playtime as well. And yes, there is a poll on the chat section that who is going to get those big wins. It is the Liverpool Reds, it is the Citizens, Manchester City, it is the Bavaria Bayerns, or it is the Frankfurt, Eintracht Frankfurt. What is that going to be? Neither Thomas Muller has got those playtime this season. It is the first time I'm seeing Thomas Muller in those starting lineups. It is the first time I'm seeing Thomas Muller on those starting lineups. Manchester City and Liverpool, on the other hand, it is still goalless. And on the timeline, if we talk about it, nothing has been much happening for that game. And in the stats, it is Manchester City who has got 3 shots already. Oh my God. Thomas Muller inside the box. Olise inside the box. But couldn't take that turn and be clinical. Oh my God. Oh my God. That was Thomas Muller inside the box. He took that turn, but not that good enough to get a goal. Olise as well took that turn, but not that good enough to get a goal, boy. Not that good enough to take a goal out of it. It is those clinical movements which is definitely is lagging at the pitch for Bayern most of the times. I mean, it has been seen this season. They are getting those 25 shots. They are getting those 30 shots. They are getting those more 20 shots on attempt, but they are making those big chances as well. Kim Min-jae passes back to Manuel Neuer. Neuer goes for Eric Dyer. Dyer, Kim. I mean, if Kim Min-jae is going to make any rusty mistakes, the whole of the internet is going to take a toll out of you, boy, and you have to leave Alliance. No denying the fact, such type of mistakes we can't get those efforts, because in the lineups for Frankfurt, if we come about big over here, just have a look of the detailed lineups for both the teams. It is the ATTK, Uzun as well as Bohoya, the man, they will be creating those disturbances. Holland and Larson on the mid pitch, will they move on? Because at the Alliance, Bayern will be dominating in those possession. It is the second leg which we are playing, and in the first leg, that 3-3 draw was definitely not the need of the hour. Thomas Muller on the right midfield, back passes to Dyer. Neuer, Kimmich making some creativity out of that. Mo Salah drops down. Two shots still being taken by Bayern, but not those clinical moves which are seen happening. Not those clinical moves which are seen happening. It is somewhat from Vincent Company's tactics. It looks that there is some sort of things missing in from him. It is Kimmich getting those man marking against Larson. Lima on the receiving end gets that through ball interception, but Eric Dyer has to be bit defensively aware against that man ETTK because he makes those incisive runs. It will be too crucial. Pavlovic to Dyer. Lima has to stay on the sides of Eric Dyer because ETTK is the man who will be making those incisive runs at times. Kimmich gives dot for Olise. Muller, Pavlovic crosses the wings to Sane. Whom is Sane going to pass? Sane tries to make those runs, but the ball is off for a goal kick. Leroy Sane is not getting those big numbers talking for him. Leroy Sane is not getting those big numbers talking for him. Not happening from Leroy Sane. No denying the fact. It is not happening from Leroy Sane. We have to get those big numbers counting for him, boy. We have to get those big numbers counting for him. You can't make those things count so easy, boy. You can't make those things count so easy. And yes, those of you who are watching this, give your votes. Is it going to be Liverpool Reds? It is going to be Citizens? It is going to be Bavarians? Or it is going to be Frankfurt? Who are going to get those big wins? But to talk about the other game where Liverpool is getting those, I mean, look at that. Manchester City is getting those big moves. They already have got those 3 shots. They are dominating those position. Pep Guardiola's men are looking those position over there. 15 minutes of the gameplay. Liverpool has just got a single shot, but 38% possession. But Liverpool are way too ahead in the Premier League table. I mean, to talk about that, look at it. It is 9 points ahead of Arsenal, and Arsenal in that previous game has choked. Jamal Musiala inside the box passes to Kimmich. Why Musiala is not taking those shots? The lack of confidence for Musiala is not allowing him to take those shots. The lack of confidence for Musiala, and inside the box he is passing it back heel to Kimmich. That is not what is expected. You have to take those shots, boy. Pavlovic, Ito, Dyer, Kim. So yes, Kim and Dyer have now made those swap changes on the centre backs. Kim has moved to the sides of ETTK, whereas Eric Dyer has moved on to the left part of the centre backs. Dyer goes for Olise. Dyer has those strength on his legs and he makes those crosses. Leroy Sane, make that happen, boy. When are you going to make it, Leroy Sane? Shit, big shit on the pitch, Leroy Sane. That was such a crafted pass into the box. Leroy Sane made those runs. But dang it, man, dang it. You are going to get those big bans. How could you afford that? I mean, this forward tactics from Vincent Company getting those passes, I mean, which is happening inside the box. I am looking frustrated in watching this gameplay. from the tactical capabilities of Vincent Company. Every time you are getting that ball in your position inside the box and you are giving it for passes, why are you not going for those shots when you are having that clear view of that goal? I mean, time and again, we have been complaining about this. This, I am not at all looking. And this is the advantage which Leroy Sané is having. He is not having that big form. And inside the box, he is making those passes. Leroy Sané has got those left footers where he can go for those big bang shots. But inside the box, you are making those passes. You are at Bavaria. You are not playing those childhood clubs where you are making those passes also from inside the box. When you are having that clear view of that goal, you have to get that ball into the nets. It isn't the passes which are going to count at the end of the game. Olise, cross. This is what I am talking is. This is lacking from Vincent Company and his men this season. Inside the box, you are a Bavarian, you are at Alliance, and you are taking those passes. What is this shit gameplay? Where is those German snipers? Where are those German shots which you are known for? That is a big waste. That is a big waste. Such type of gameplay is definitely not going to yield much. Such type of gameplays, you are going to get those big chances, but it is not going to happen anything in favor for the Bayerns. How can you afford to get those shots not taken from inside the box? I mean, I am out of my mind. I'm out of my mind. Every time this season I'm watching this gameplay, those tactical capabilities, playing 2 defense, playing 3 defense center backs in the mid pitch 4-4, or it is the likes of 3-5 you are going. It is good. It is that Bayern way of playing, but inside the box also you are going for those passes time and again. Yes, it is those moments where you can get it, but every time you are getting the position of the ball inside the box, you are going for passes to get that into the nets. Man, that is hilarious. Vincent Company is not having that clear view, the clear aspect of Bayern which they are capable of, and he has started that school game or college football which is happening. Minje with those tackles, he is moving high up on the pitch again. Oh my god. It will be Eric Dyer only left with the likes of 80 TK. Man. Inside the box again. Olise changes the wings, goes for Sané. Sané gets some deflection, but gets it good. This is some sort of bad thing which Bayern are doing it. Look at that left footer from Olise. He made that. Leroy Sané didn't took that shot and he went for Olise and went for Musiala. And Musiala, that first shot wasn't even that clinical. That is what I am saying. This new year to talk about Musiala not performing that well, boy, not performing that well. You have got those extensions as well. You have got those up to 2020. But not happening from you this new year. To talk about especially Musiala, this new year, things are not happening much from him. This is somewhat which is not expected. If you are at Bavaria and you are going to make those changes happen, this is not something which is much expected. Dang it, boy, dang it. I mean, looking at the other teams, they are scoring it, and Liverpool and Manchester City, oh my god, it is Mo Salah who has scored. Look at that. It is Mo Salah who has scored. What a good move. Mo Salah has scored. Liverpool has struck first and 1-0 to the visitors. Pep Guardiola is looking furious on the pitch. Mo Salah from Liverpool has scored against Manchester City, and now Olise inside the box. Will he make those shots? Man, look at that shot. Look at that shot. Look at that shot from Olise. Man. Bayern are just lacking those clinical finishing so bad and still not getting those first goal. It is what is going to be disheartening. Kim Min-jae again. It is against Eddie TK. Eric Dyer dropping to those defensive aspects. He gets it good. Kim Min-jae has get those bad tackles again. Look at that. It is from Frankfurt, that young man who made those moves look so good. Look at that. That young man, Rahoya, who made it look so good. Uzun also. Leroy Sané again. When are you going to take that shot, boy? It is quite upsetting from Leroy Sané on the pitch. It is big time disappointment. Not taking those first time shots, giving away those cheapy, sticky movements. Lima getting those inside the box. Header. Muller. Every time you are going to get those inside the box things to happen like that, that is not a top class Bundesliga game you are playing. That is looking like a school football or a college football which is happening on the pitch. Really speaking, that is looking like a school football or a college football happening on the pitch. No denying the fact. Man, that is disheartening. Look at that. 6 shots being taken on the stats, 2 on target. And that 73% position, that is going to be big shit on your pants. Look at that. Olise made that to Sané. Sané should have taken that first. But when the Frankfurt 5 defensive players dropped into the post, Musiala had to overpass 3 on the centre backs, safeguarding the nets to get that shot. But Leroy Sané hesitated in taking that. Take a step down, boy. Take a step down. Take a step down from the team. It is not required. Take a step down from the team. It is definitely not the need of the hour. When you are lacking in your form, take a step down. Go to the academy, get those play moments from there, learn from the young kids, and then come back to the main squad, come back to the senior squad. Vincent Company having some talking with Muller and Musiala. Some injury moments on the pitch. Frankfurt, they have got some injury moments. I mean, how on this holy earth can you believe that you haven't yet been able to score? Look at the other hand, it is Liverpool who has got those first goal. They have been doing it so good. That is the moment. Mo Salah is that consistently performing. What is that consistency which you are getting it over here? But look at the stats as well over here. It is quite disheartening. Now it is Manchester City who has got 4 shots, 2 on target, but Liverpool 2 shots, 1 on target. This long season of the Champions League, you have to be clinical. You have to be clinical to get those goals. Look at the passes. Manchester City 198 passes. What are those passes going to count, boy? 69% possession Manchester City. What is that position which is going to yield when you are not getting those goals? And the same thing it is happening over here. Look at that. 243 passes in 26 minutes, 90% pass accuracy, 73% possession, 6 shots, 2 on target. But these stats are going to be just kept in the history of the books. Nothing is that going to count unless and until if you are getting those football into the nets. That is the football we have to understand. The possession, the passes, that is a waste, that is a cheap stake. It is good, you have to keep those stats counting, but you have to get those numbers, those goal scoring. I mean, in the Bundesliga table, I mean, this really takes a toll of my mind. It is Bayern who has got those 65 goals, 19 against, and a goal difference of 46. But in the Champions League, that is what which we are expecting. If at home you are not getting those clinical aspects happening in the finishings, then how on this holy earth do you expect to get those away goals? My concern is on that part, because at home when you are getting those big numbers counting and those clinical finishings not happening from inside the box, how is that going to happen when you are playing those away legs? That is what is disheartening from Vincent Company this season. Big worries, big worries. Big worries, guys, big worries. I can't digest that so easy. I can't digest that so easy. I really can't digest that so easy. Frankfurt has got those free kick. Is Uzan going to make that cross far post? Manuel Neuer goes for Leroy Sané. Now Leroy Sané is not getting his ass move fast on the pitch. Finally, he wins those tackles. But he lost it again. He lost it again. Look at that. You are talking about that performance from Leroy Sané on the pitch. Don't be a stack of meat on the pitch, and for the sake of counting the numbers you are playing. If you are not playing, please step down, boy. Please step down. Make way and ask the club to get some fresh recruitments having. Get on loan to some other teams and play there, get your form back and come back to Bayern. That is what the aspect which I would like to have from him. That is definitely the aspect which I would like for him. That is a shot being taken. Thomas Muller. Oh my God. Thomas Muller is looking furious. Thomas Muller is looking furious. Look at that shot. That is what I'm taking. You have to take those shots. That is what I'm taking. You are going to take those shots from outside the box as well. You have to get the opposition goalkeeper at threat. At times, you have to make him feel those presence. It is trap on the goalkeeping positions. Frankfurt are now making, oh my God, 80 TK inside the box. He is getting those moves. My goodness. My goodness. How on this holy earth haven't we been able to score a goal? I am not concentrating on that Kim Min Jae. I don't know how he is going to perform. He is really going to make a waste somehow, because he is not at all reliable. Neuer, Olise, Kiete is defending Olise too good, not giving him those spaces. Kim Min Jae again moving high up. He is playing those destroying moments. Oh my God. Oh my God. It was Hiroki Ito finally getting those sensing movements. Thomas Muller is looking a bit angry on the pitch. Yes, if you are playing like this, definitely anger is going to take a toll out of you. Thiete again. He is moving high up on the pitch. This is a bit disheartening. You are not being able to capitalize those movements on the pitch. This is a bit disheartening. This is a bit disheartening. I mean, these stats, they will be kept in the books and they will be burned. No one is going to watch your stats, how much of shots you have taken. Musiala goes for Muller. Musiala. Oh my God. That was close. That was close. That was close, but the goal hasn't come in favor. But where is Leroy Sané? Look at that. It was Muller, it was Guerrero, it was Pavlovic. But where is Leroy Sané? Look at that stalemate. Where is Leroy Sané in those attacks? It was Pavlovic, it was Olise, it was Guerrero, it was Muller, it was Musiala making those attacks. But where is that from Leroy Sané happening? Kimmich passes that to Neuer. Dyer passes to Musiala. Musiala dropping in. Muller is having that stint on the pitch. He is asking those press to be happening. Kim Min-jae again looking nervous, not getting that first touch of the ball good enough. I mean, I think this player Kim Min-jae, he really needs motivation. He really needs those type of, self-confidence build-up, which is required. Apart from that, I don't think that this player is much capable of enough doing something for Bayern. I mean, in the future, is he going to be the next phase on the centre backs for Bayern? Will that be the story you are waiting for? Will that be the story which you are waiting for? Oof. Lama has been given those stunt movements from Thomas Muller, and Thomas Muller is not looking happy on the pitch. Yes, that is what is needed. Now the players are looking, pressing it, and now the players are looking, making those moves. That is a good move from Thomas Muller, giving those players a good rebuke on the pitch. Give them those hunter movements. Not at all doing good, taking those rest. Make them fight. And that is what something which Vincent Company, look at that pass from that Kim Min-jae, man, holy God. What on this earth is he made of? It is good from the injury aspects that Harry Kane is back on the lineups, but still given rest. Palina is also back, but on rest. Alphonso Davies is also back from injuries, but on a rest. Those players are getting those rest moments, and in the second half, I think Company should go for those. But play Hiroki Ito on the centre backs. Please move Kim Min-jae out of that. Let Kim Min-jae feel the pressure. It is all those 90 minutes which Kim Min-jae and Upamecano have been playing under Company this season. All the matches, can you imagine? I mean, this long season, you have those big fixtures and you are just staying with those two centre backs time and again for those 90 minutes plus stoppage time in all the matches. That is also hilarious from company. Musiala passes that to Dyer. Dyer is high up on the pitch. Goes for Lama, Police on the right wings. Kimmich, Pavlovic, Musiala, Leroy Sané again. Take that shot, boy. Kimmich again goes for those curls. I can't watch this Leroy Sané playing anymore, please. God help us take Leroy Sané from off the pitch. Not happening, not happening. Not happening from Leroy Sané anywhere near the box. The stats are really counting it so bad, not looking it at all decent. I mean, just look at these shots. Let me refresh it. 7 shots, 3 on target. Still not a goal. I mean, at the end of the game, you will be watching those 25 shots, 30 shots being taken, 8 to 10 to 12, 13 shots on target, 3 or 4 or 5 big chances, and you are missing it big. That is the story which is happening, especially from this new year. Now you are talking. Now you're talking. Now Thomas Muller is making those press. That is what is needed if you are playing those high center back lineups as well as those players high on those attacks. You have to make those press count. I'm really impressed the way Thomas Muller is making his approach on the pitch. Look at him. He is making those approaches look so good. He is so technical and he is finding those right spots on the pitch. Eric Dyer making those passes looking so good. Muller, back passes to Kimmich, Pavlovic, Ito. Leroy Sané, look at this, not having those moves, not having those dribbles. Man, not even winning those tackles as well. Oof. 305 passes. Who is going to count those passes? 91% pass accuracy. What does that mean? 2 fouls. Is it those stats which we are going to count at the end of the game? It is the possession game. Yes, do it good. But so much of back passes not happening. It is, I mean, the gameplay which company is trying to implement, the oppositions are taking the advantage of it because they don't have to get those big fights. They are just resting their bus. I mean, they are going to park their bus on their half so good, and it is letting Bayern to make those huge movements on the pitch. And when they are getting those, no one is man marking at TK. Frankfurt are making those moves and no one is man marking at TK. Oh, finally Lama drops down. Big disheartening, big disheartening, big disheartening on these moments on the pitch. Already 40 minutes on the watch, still goalless from both the teams. I mean, look at that. Frankfurt are taking those rest on their defensive half, making those rest movements, and after those 5 to 10 minutes, they are taking those. My God, that was a shot being taken. Oh my God. Frankfurt even took those shots on the pitch. It is Uzun, their man. This man from Turkey, 19 years of age at Frankfurt. He has got those 22 games played, but he has also got those 5 goals. He is from Nuremberg. And Frankfurt has been getting those recruits, getting those scouts so good. Frankfurt has been making those new players into their squad looking so good. Jamal Musiala moving in, goes for Muller. Muller is not having that good move as well. It is some sort of scoring opportunity. 80k. No, denied. Dyer finally gets those deflection. Neuer, Pavlovic, Police dropping down. Lima. What is that move from Konrad Lima? Konrad Lima is looking shaky on his legs. Konrad Lama on the right backs is looking shaky on his legs. No denying the fact he is looking shaking his legs on the pitch. No denying the fact. Big worries, big worries. If man are going to play this way, this is going to be a soon exit from the Champions League round of 16. You can't deny that. It is that Bundesliga derby which will be having Leverkusen. But if Bayern are getting these moves on the pitch, it will be disheartening. Kimmich is down on the pitch. He is looking injured. I think that is Kimmich who is injured, and definitely he needs to get those rest. Definitely Kimmich needs to get those rest. It is some sort of communication which Eric Dyer and Thomas Muller are making. Yes, Kimmich is down to injuries. That is what happens when you play a player for those 90 minutes on all those matches in the season. In the Bundesliga, in the DFB Pokal, in the Champions League, everywhere you are playing those men, and yes, they will get those nerves stiff and they will get those injuries. Kimmich is now finally making his move off the pitch. 42 minutes, 43 minutes on the clock, and it is Kimmich moving off the pitch. Kimmich is that player who has never been seen going into those injuries. But yes, those 90 minutes of playtime which is having consistently on the pitch, that is definitely not going to yield. Goretzka, he has got those substitutions. Leon Goretzka has come to the pitch, replacing Kimmich. Vincent Company time and again going with those same men for those 90 minutes in the first half of the season, not getting those substitutions being made. And this has resulted in this. This has resulted in this. It is Harry Kane who has also got those injuries. Davis getting those injuries, but they are back in the squad. But Upamecano getting those injuries. Big worries, big worries. Vincent Company has to take these numbers counting bad on his back. Doing good in the Bundesliga, but in the Champions League he is failing miserably. It is that sole pressure from Leverkusen which is causing those mishaps to happen. Pavlovic finds Olise on the wings. Who is there going to get those passes from Olise? Olise goes for Pavlovic. Kim, Ito, Sane, Muller. Ito, will he take that shot? Oh my god. Olise passes that. Goretzka, Dyer, Pavlovic making those moves. He is playing those anchor midfield positions. Lama gets Musiala. Lama. That turn wasn't quite good. 45 minutes are up. 6 minutes of added time in the first half. 6 minutes of added time in the first half. Real Madrid and Girona, that game has ended and it is 2-0. We were knowing it so good, but Girona were making it looking good. But it was Modric in the first half getting those big goals. Vinicius adding that to it. Corner being taken. None to get those headers. And now we are having the watch of Bayern and Frankfurt as well as Manchester City and Liverpool. Liverpool has got 2 goals. Pep Guardiola. Oh my goodness. Oh my goodness. Red is the color, boy. Red is the color. Musiala trying to get a dribble out of it. Make it happen, boy. Make it happen. Get that first goal before the first half. 6 minutes of added time. It is huge. It is huge to get a goal out of it. The stats are talking much, but the goals are not coming in. Goretzka finally getting those received inside the box. Good. Lima getting those blocked. Goretzka again. Sane. Goretzka goes for Muller. Lise. Goretzka again. But look at that. Stale meat passes. Just back passing it. I mean, those counters from Bayern not happening. Goretzka again. Lise, Musiala, Sane, take that shot, boy. Finally, oh my God. Olise scored it. Olise scored it finally. Thank God Leroy Sané didn't take that shot and he passed it. That is what is needed, boy. You have to make those numbers counting and you have to get those stats. It is that meat from Leroy Sané which we are looking to happen. It is those times where you have to build your confidence back, but this type of playmaking is not definitely the need of the hour. Thank God Leroy Sané didn't went for those. He went for that first post deep into it, and Olise was dropping in good. Thank God the first goal which we have got in the first half. Mia San Mia. Make it big, boys. Don't make those big passes which is happening every time. Center back, center back, center back, center back. It is those moves inside the box which we have to make, and you have to take those shots from inside the box as well. Leroy Sané getting those assists, but I want Leroy Sané to score, man. I want Leroy Sané to score. I want him to be back in his form. Because if you are not having those confidence of getting those numbers counting in your goals, it will be a disaster. Oh my God, look at that tackle being made to Hiroki Ito. That will be a yellow card sure for him. That is a bad tackle. That is definitely a bad tackle to Hiroki Ito on the pitch. That is a bad tackle to Hiroki Ito on the pitch. This player, that Japanese one on that number 27 from Stuttgart Academy to Stuttgart, now at Bayern. He has played just those 2 games. I mean, what a tackle that was to him. Look at that dull face of Vincent Kompany, not getting those inputs, and it is those same capabilities which he is trying time and again and expecting a different result. That is surely, I mean, you are an insane and obsessed man who are trying that same thing with that same approach and trying to get those unexpected results. But on the other hand, Frankfurt has found their player number 20, Uzun. Uzun takes that shot. Man, this player Uzun from Turkey, he is that young kid in the block but making those moves. From Nuremberg at Frankfurt, 22 games but 5 goals. I mean, Frankfurt has just given away their striker Marmoush to Manchester City, but it is their new player Uzun which they have also got in the building. That is what you are talking about. You are getting those players from those Bundesliga 2 with those academy. Police is looking tired at times. He has also given those 90 minutes of playtime. Every game he is starting, every game he is playing. Rotation of the players from Vincent Company in the squad not happening. Leroy Sané goes for Pavlovic. Muller, Ito against Sané on the wings. Go for that cross. No. Holds the ball and passes it. Musiala dribbling it good, but not having that magical moment which he was having. Musiala is not having those magical moments which was happening. It is the end of the first half over here at Alliance, and Bayern has got that first goal. I mean, that single goal. How can you expect that it is just over here a single goal which has been scored? Whereas, I mean, in the previous watch along which we were having, it was Mohan Bagan Super Giants getting those win over Odisha, and they have clinched the first spot in the Indian Super League, and just 2 matches left to it. It is just a one-sided one, and Mohan Bagan Super Giants are definitely going to get that reigning championship back. It is the likes of Real Madrid against Girona, and yes, the 2 goals which Modric scored, that was a perfect one. Modric has scored that big one against Casaniga, and Vinicius Jr. also getting those goals. 2 goals win for Real Madrid, and in the table, if you talk about with the goal difference, Barcelona and Real Madrid in the same points, but the goal difference is what which is Barcelona is having that top spot, but in terms of points, they are on the same. And yes, Liverpool and Manchester City, to talk about this, it is Manchester City. I mean, Liverpool scoring those 2 goals. Red is the color, boy. Red is the color. And so Sly also scoring it. But this is quite disheartening. It is 8 shots, which Manchester City has taken, 3 on target. Whereas Liverpool, 3 shots, 2 on target. That is what it is matters. You have to get the goals counting. You don't have to get those passes counting. You are getting bait possessed. I mean, obsessed in getting those passes. And same is that which was happening over here, Bayern and Frankfurt. To talk about it, it was those 8 shots which Bayern took, 4 on target, 70% possession, 431 passes. Man, these numbers are looking bit disheartening. 91% pass accuracy. This is not required. You have to make those passes, you have to keep those positions, but from those edge of the box, from those first time shots, you have to take those. You have to take the opposition on threat. And with this lineup, Bayern are really, I mean, that change which Vincent Company, if he is trying to make with the rotation in the squad, it is going to be good. I mean, for the future, it will be going to be good. But for now, to talk about, it is, I mean, we will have a detailed discussion of the lineups bit later, but to talk about Liverpool also with this lineup, they have been doing it good. Liverpool have been doing it good. They have got those opportunities. They have scored in the previous few games. They were looking dried up of those attacks, and this wasn't happening. Yes, guys, we are having the watch along of Bayern as well as Bayern with Frankfurt and Liverpool, along with the likes of Manchester City, both of them, which we are having a watch of it. And we will also take a short break, and after this is the break which is also going on, and after that we will be joining up for the watch along of the second half. Do give me a 1 minute short break, because I was getting those first half, I mean first stream which started. It is the second stream continuously which we are making. So 1 minute of short break and I will be back. Do stay tuned. I'll just fill my coffee mug and I will be back. Do stay tuned, guys. And yes, those of you who are watching, give your votes on that poll section which has been pinned on the chat. Man, my couch has just moved from the position as well. Damn. This game, it is being looking so frustrating from my side. And Bayern just giving those shots cheaply. It is taking a toll out of my mind. It is taking a big toll of my mind. Yes, the lineups which we're having, I mean, we are back from that 1 minute of break, and I have got my nerves cooled down because watching that first half, Bayern was again making those disasters, but it was somewhat which ended with a goal from Olise, and it was Leroy Sané who contributed it. I mean, to talk about Leroy Sané must get those boosts. He must try to get those boosts. He has to make those things happening for him. I mean, to talk about the lineups, if we go about the details, look at these stats. These are quite disheartening. I mean, look at that. The first shot, Eritike took it. It was just inside the box, but that was a miss. It would have been a big opportunity, which Eritike has missed. Look at that. Look at these. It was disastrous from the defensive aspects of Bayern. It was ninth minute. Thomas Muller took that, but it was a block. He took a turn and couldn't take that shot because he wasn't that good in that positioning to take that shot. But again, Olise with that rebound takes that shot. It was so close, but he misses it again. It was Kimmich trying to make some shot, not clinical. Kimmich was not that good in the training as well, and he has to be substituted. It was Goretzka who was called in because Vincent Company and his tactics, making those players play those 90 minutes consistently round the season, that is somewhat the injuries are causing it happen. Kimmich goes for those substitutions. Musiala not performing it that well this new year. He has got those stats. He has got those 10 goals as well this season, but I mean, three or four of them were headers from Musiala as well. But in the second half, from the January's, not doing it. Musiala is not doing what is expected. Olise again taking that shot, but it was a save. But look at those shots which are being taken. Everything just from inside the box. But it is that man Uzun who has been picked up from Nürnberg. He is now at Frankfurt. He has got those 23-24 games, but he has also got those 5 goals. I mean, to talk about Frankfurt, they have given away Marmoush to Manchester City. They have got those transfers, but in the new making, they have got this number 20, Uzun. He is doing good. This man from Turkey, Frankfurt has got their new man in the squad. They have got the replacement of Marmoush as well. Frankfurt is doing good in their academy as well. Leroy Sané again taking that shot block. Leroy Sané is looking like a big piece of meat. And after that, Thomas Muller was looking a bit angry on the pitch after the substitution of Kimmich, and he made those aggressive runs from the forwards into the pitch. And after that, it was Uzun again. Look at that player, Uzun. He is consistently making those appearances from the edge of the box, from inside the box. He is seen everywhere on those attacking aspects. Olise again on the 47th minute, that was the goal, and Leroy Sané this time got that assist, moved in good, he got those speed, he finally got that assist. He was lucky enough to get it, but in the lineup for this, I'm going to talk about the defensive aspect of Kim and Dyer has been impressive, but Kim has been missing away those tackles. No denying the fact, Kim has been missing away those tackles in this game as well. Dyer has been looking good. He has been making those passes in the mid pitch where Musiala was seen dropping down, collecting it. Muller was seen dropping down, making those passes to Sane, making those passes to Olise. Dyer has been consistent more than Kim, and this is the first time I have seen Kim and Dyer coming in into the first lineup because Upamecano is injured. It is those again 90 minutes of play time which Vincent Company is sticking to that same team for the whole season came and Upamecano got those injuries. Dyer is now making it. But from Frankfurt to talk about Christensen, Tuta is the man, and as Thiete, they were looking decent. They were denying any sort of opportunities, most of the time dropping down and parking the bus. But Trapp was the man who hasn't got those big stunt moments because Bayern hadn't taken those sniper shots, the German sniper shots, which the Bavaria is known for. That was really missing. And somehow they got that one goal. Apart from that, it is the likes of Manchester City and Liverpool to talk about that. It is those two goals which Liverpool is boasting of in this watch along. We are having this Mo Salah and Szoboszlai also going for that. But look at the stats. It is the same disheartening story which Vincent Company is having at Bayern, and same Guardiola is having. 8 shots Manchester City has taken, 3 on target. I mean, look at that. Second minute shot, Szoboszlai took it, block. Gonzalez scoring, getting those shots. Marmoush getting those shots. Foden, but so wide of the box, nowhere near into the box. But Mo Salah getting that 14th goal was good. Marmoush again, so far from outside the box, they are taking those shots. Foden again, look at those shots. I mean, all those shots, Guardiola's men are not even being able to penetrate the box. They are making those shots count only. Szoboszlai again inside the box gets that second goal, so efficient. De Bruyne again making those outside the box. Gonzalez again, just look at this, only 2 shots. It was Gonzalez on the 3rd minute from inside the box, and it was Guardiola on the late first half inside the box. Apart from that, Manchester City has just managed to get those shots from outside the box, and the second half is going to begin. We will be moving on to our main panel. Here it is, the lineups. But for the lineup of Liverpool, with those 2 goals, Liverpool are at the top of the Premier League, doing it so good, and Arsenal has bottled their chances, the lack of their forwards available for those lineups for Arteta to happen. And it is Liverpool with this lineup doing it so good. And in the timeline to talk about Liverpool, it is Manchester City's Semino who is looking disheartened on the pitch. But we will be moving on to the second half of Bayern and Frankfurt, which is happening at the Allianz Arena. That sole goal, Leroy Sané and Olise combination, which has resulted in a 1-goal lead. And to talk about the table, Bayern will be at top on 58 points, 8 points ahead of Leverkusen. That is needed. Leroy Sané has got that. In the starting opening, will he take that shot? Musiala inside the box, being tackled. Not getting that shot again. Olise passes that to Muller. Muller tries for that right footer, too high for him to get a touch to it. Goretzka on the back, hitting those rebound movements. Leroy Sané goes for Goretzka. Goretzka. It will be hard to watch if Frankfurt are going to make those counters. Pavlovic has a fall on the pitch. Eric Dyer is moving in. ATTK with that ball goes for Uskan. Oh my god. Oh my god. That was a deadly counter. That was a deadly counter from Frankfurt. ATTK made that pass so good. And yes, the substitutions which has been made. There has been substitution. Look at that. It is those substitutions. Why he has come to the pitch. Uzun is out. My god, Ken Uzun is out. Shikri is that man, and Oscar Holland is out. My god, why Uzun was taken off the pitch? He was doing it so good in the first half of Frankfurt. What is wrong? What is wrong? Uzun, Dino Topmuller, the manager for Frankfurt, has dropped Uzun from the pitch. Oh my god. He was the Bayern assistant coach as well from 2021 to 2023. Dino Topmoller at Frankfurt. Look at him. He has dropped Uzun. What was that move? Why was it needed? What was the need of dropping down Uzun from the pitch? And yes, those of you who are watching the stream, give your votes. Who are going to get those wins? Liverpool, Reds, it is the Citizens, Light Blues, Bavaria Bayerns, or it is going to be Frankfurt? What are those big numbers going to count? Oh my goodness, that is something disheartening. Manchester City and Liverpool, the second half has started, 54 minutes on the watch, but those two goals from Liverpool is that sole moment. I mean, the substitutions which Frankfurt has got, they have dropped their player Uzun from the squad. What is that note? Oh my god, they have dropped Holland. Yes, he wasn't that performing good, but Skiri and why the two men who have been brought to the squad? What was the need of dropping Uzun? Can Uzun, the man who was making it happen so good, has been dropped just in the starting of the second half? What is that? And to talk about it, still 8 shots, 4 on target, 1 goal. If this scoreline would have been a 2-0 or 3-0, it would have been looking good. But clinical finishing is not happening. Mo Salah back passes to Ito. Him. Eric Dyer is making those signals, those gesticulations to Kim to take those rest moments and not to get those passes happening so quick. Eric Dyer is showing a good character. Eric Dyer is showing a good character and he is at times seen instructing Kim Min-jae, not asking Kim Min-jae to make those hurry passes, and on those counters Frankfurt could get a goal out of it. Eric Dyer is really showing a good character on the pitch. Eric Dyer is really showing a good character on the pitch. So yes, that is the substitution movement on the pitch which has happened. That a shot being taken by Thomas Muller. Not that power into it to get a goal. Kim is there up against ATTK. ATTK is consistently pressing against Kim Min-jae to make him commit any sort of mistakes. Whereas that player Eli Wahi, number 17, who has come onto the pitch replacing Uzun, he is seen staying close to Eric Dyer as well. You have to get those numbers counting. And in the second half, it is looking decent. In the second half, it is looking decent from Bayern in those numbers counting. Look at that defensive aspect from Eric Dyer. Eric Dyer is doing so good on the centre backs, not giving those spaces. Eric Dyer is really showing a big character on the pitch tonight. He has got those fresh legs, he has got those fresh movements. Ito gets those deflection. Shot for Manuel Neuer taken, but block. Ito getting those clearances, but flags are raised. That was offside. That is the place where I am talking. It is the likes of ATTK who will be seen making those moves against the errors of Kim Min-jae, or it will be those runs where he will be seen making against Eric Dyer, because Eric Dyer is bit slow in his speed, whereas Kim Min-jae is fast, but he makes those errors. It is Leroy Sané one-on-one against, moving up high on the pitch. Will he take that shot? Holy God, when is Leroy Sané going to get those feel of fresh blood into the nets for Bayern? I mean, suddenly looking at it, it is Tuta, the man. He was making those moves, and look at his speed. He overtook Leroy Sané in those runs as well. That was a good move from Thomas Muller to Leroy Sané. Bayern has got those headers. That man on the pitch, Thiete and Tuta, they are making those defense look so solid. These were the moments when Leroy Sané used to get the possession of the ball in those counter-attacks. He used to make those runs. He used to make those goals count, and he used to be so technical and so clinical in those. But now things are not happening from him. That is also a big worry which Bayern management as well as company are having. I mean, it is those 2 long seasons where Leroy Sané hasn't been seen performing that good. I mean, to talk about the stats of Leroy Sané on the pitch, it is those 206 games at Bayern, 56 goals, big numbers counting. But this season, 18 matches, 10 games he has started, 6 goals. He is not even into those double digits. And this is the second half of the season which is going on as well. Still on 6 goals, 2-digit numbers, not talking for Leroy Sané this season as well. Whereas in the Bundesliga, if we talk about the stats, Harry Kane is definitely at the top with those 21 goals. Patrick Schick from Leverkusen 15. Marmoush has got 15 goals, but he got that in just the first half of the season, and he is now at Manchester City. It is Clean Dienst, 14 goals. Jonathan Boucard, 13. Guirassy, that man, 13 goals. In the Champions League, he has got 10 goals. Guirassy is that man from Dortmund performing. ETTK has got 12. Jamal Musiala 10. Sesko 10. It is just 2 men from Bayern. It is Harry Kane with those 21 goals and Jamal Musiala with those 10 goals. But Jamal Musiala has reached that 10 goals in the first half of the season. Apart from that, no one is there from Bayern to be scoring. I mean, in the top 7, in the top 6, not. It is Olise who has got 6 goals. It is Leroy Sané who has got 6 goals. Both from Olise and Sané, we need those performances. Olise, we can make those moves that he is new, and this is his first season. He is still a young age. At his young age, he will make those moves. He can be given the next season to be played. But Leroy Sané, he is already 29 years of age, and he has been there from 2020. This is his 5th season playing in. You have to be on your peak form in those aspects. Muller gets that header. Goretzka passing that to Muller, denied. Lima pressing it high up. Has missed his spot. Look at that defensive aspect from Eric Dyer. He looked so good on those defensive aspects. Look at those defensive aspects from Eric Dyer. He denied any opportunity. That is what a defensive centre back does. I mean, Eric Dyer pressed against the likes of Levi, but he got those tackles and Levi was down on the pitch, and that is a safe tackle. But Kim Min-jae, he makes those tackles, he moves so high up on the pitch, and he loses the ball, and he even loses the player as well with those tackles. That seems a bit disappointing. That seems really a bit disappointing. No shots being taken from either the teams to be happening, to be seen in the timeline. Pavlovic, Ito on the left wings, Sane, Musiala trying to get those 360 turn out of it. But you are getting predictable, boy. Musiala, you are now getting too predictable on your moves. Muller gets that cross. Goretzka. Pavlovic getting those interceptions good. Finally denying any sort of counters from ATTK to be made. ATTK is really might be missing those partnership movements which he used to have along with Marmoush. And on those stats, 11 shots, 6 on target, just a single goal from Bayern. This is disheartening. Pavlovic goes for Ito. Sane, Ito. Process happening. Back to Kim. Look at that. Kim, every time the ball comes to his position, he just tries to pass it so quickly. He doesn't take the hold of the ball. He doesn't try to get the feel of the pitch. He just passes it for the sake of passing. Pavlovic, Lise. Pavlovic is looking to take the center stage in the mid pitch, going for those passes because the unavailability of Kimmich is definitely what Pavlovic has to cater. It is Dyer back passing to Pavlovic. Goretzka has moved high on the pitch. Ito, Kim, Sane. Ito again passes to Dyer. And on the other hand, Kim Min-jae prefers to stay on that center back position rather than getting those fluidity in the team, which Vincent Company most of the times need from his players. That is also the aspect which Kim Min-jae is lacking at times. No denying the fact. Kim Min-jae is that player who likes to go aggressive. That is his natural instinct. And he likes to stay on those comfortable center back positions deep down. That is what he loves to do. That is what his natural instinct comes into play. And he is there on a pressure moment on the pitch. Manchester City and Liverpool on those 66 minutes, still 2 goals up. Liverpool. Manchester City traveling to, at their home of Etihad, Liverpool, who has traveled to City for the second leg, and in the previous one, that was Liverpool winning it 2-0, and again now it is they are winning it 2-0. It is that goal scoring opportunity. Hiroki Ito has got it. A header deflection. That was, oh my god, thank god you have scored, boys, but this second goal came in so hesitantly from inside the box. Leroy Sané is seen just getting those click eye movements on the camera. What is that for? Is he getting the feel of the ball on the pitch? Or does he look? That was a big opportunity. It was some sort of deflection. Oh my god. Oh my god. That was Christensen on the defense from Frankfurt. Got those deflection, trying to get those interceptions, but landed safe to Ito. And he wasn't offside even. He took that touch and it was straight into the nets. Finally, he took that shot. Look at that. That is what I'm saying. Look at the offensive aspects. Ito is seen performing, and in the previous game, Ito was seen defending on the own defensive half, saving many goals against the likes of Celtic, against the likes of Leverkusen. He wasn't being picked. Why Vincent Company make those decisions? I didn't find that good. It is those moments where we can see the big substitutions coming, and it is Götze, the man, Mario Götze, the 2014 World Cup winner for Germany from PSV Eindhoven. He was 2 years now at Frankfurt. He was at Bayern from 13 to 16, but not getting those playtimes. Then to Dortmund, then to Eindhoven. Now, oh my God, Hiroki Ito has been substituted. Vincent Company is a shit on the pitch. Vincent Company is a shit on the pitch. Hiroki Ito, looking so good, has been substituted. Oh my God. Oh my God. Hiroki Ito looking so good. I mean, he made those appearances as well where Bayern were having those fixtures in the Bundesliga, in the Champions League against Celtic, was making those moves. He was substituted, and in this game also against Frankfurt, he got a goal as well, and he was seen making those moves on the centre backs. But again, Alphonso Davies has been brought into the squad. Why not giving those rest to Alphonso Davies for the game against Leverkusen? Vincent Company just likes to stick to the players which he needs, and he makes those things happen. It is Hiroki Ito out, Alphonso Davies in, Thomas Muller is out, Harry Kane is in. Vincent Company needs those players to be again back in form. It is just, half of the game injury which you are talking about. That is what, when you all, Harry Kane has played for most of the games this season, the Champions League, the DFB Pokal, the Bundesliga games. It is Davies who has started and played most of the games. Despite of some of 1 or 2 games, he was off for injuries. And again, it was Hiroki Ito performing it good, but dropped. It is Thomas Muller who was doing it consistent, making the team press high up. But again, now Harry Kane has been brought in. Oh my God. Who is going to make this Vincent Company learn about that you have to get those rotations on the pitch? What was wrong in this lineup? Really, I just can't make that understand. It was those 13 shots which Bayern got with this lineup. Why the need was to make those substitutions? You could have got those players dropping in on those late 75-80 minutes. That would also have been considered, because the next game you are going to face against Leverkusen. To be precise about it, the fixtures Bayern in the next are going to face Stuttgart March 1st. After that, it is Leverkusen. So, what was the need of bringing in the need of Harry Kane and Alphonso Davies into the squad so early? My goodness. Look at that. ATTK is seen making his moves again. What was the need? Vincent Company going for these substitutions again. He could have given Thomas Muller those 90 minutes. He could have given Hiroki Ito those 90 minutes. Rather, I would have gone for those substitutions of dropping in Lima and bringing in Sacha Boey to get some character into the pitch. Or I would have shifted Hiroki Ito on the right backs and brought in Alphonso Davies on the left backs. My God. That is some sort of big tactical errors Vincent Company on his robust decisions is making it. That second goal which you talk about, Bayern have got that lucky, but in the second half they haven't been that creative to be happening. Might be that is the reason which Vincent Company has got in to make those substitutions. But don't you guys think that Vincent Company is thinking much about this lineup? He is getting those big moments. He is getting those big aspects as well. Min-jae goes for Harry Kane. Back passes to Davis. Or rather, I would have dropped. I mean, it was the necessary if Thomas Muller would have needed those substitutions. Musiala takes that shot. Not happening from him, boy, not happening from him. Rather, from the likes of Leroy Sané and Olise staying on the pitch, I would have gone for the substitution of Thomas Muller if it was that needed. I would have just brought in Gnabry to at least get some moves. It is that sole striker Harry Kane who was down with injuries, and again he has been brought in. Big worries, big worries. Vincent Company, time and again, going with the same set of players. He is getting predictable in those moves. Those players having those playmaking abilities are also getting exposed time and again playing those matches. Oh my god, that is a tackle bad made to Goretzka on the pitch. Give him a card for that tackle. Goretzka is down on the pitch. That is a bad one. Eli Wahi, that man, he is getting his nerves high on the pitch, and that tackle made to Goretzka. The referee on the pitch as well, such a stank man, not even giving him those booking. It is those two goals. Bayern have been lucky in getting those. The first one was a bit clinical, but the second one, which Bayern got, Leroy Sané has won that to Olise one-on-one. Was some good move. Leroy Sané is now looking seen, making some good moves. But he has to be consistent, boy. But that is what the deficiency in the game comes in when Harry Kane is on the pitch. It was Thomas Muller who was pressing the opposition centre backs, but Harry Kane never presses it high up. He makes those slowish, Turkish movements, sluggish movements, and that is not definitely a threat for the centre backs. Leroy Sané dropping down, winning those defensive tackles, passes that to Manuel Neuer. It is for Musiala also to perform. I mean, talking about the stats, talking about the numbers that is happening in the Bundesliga for Vincent Company, but in those away games, Bayern has been struggling. Bayern has been struggling. No denying the fact. Olise, Dyer, Pavlovic, Neuer, so many passes happening. Davis now seen moving from the left wings into the center pitch. Gets a cut in. Musiala, take that shot, boy. Man, again, Musiala from inside the box, going for those passes. Take those shots, boy. Take those shots. These are the moments which I am consistently saying that Musiala has to take those shots. What is the need of making those passes from inside the box when you are a Bavarian kid, when you are at Bayern, when you are playing at Alliance? Leroy Sané is having those stunt moment on the pitch. He is having those stunt moment on the pitch. He is seen gaining some character. It has been a long-term story for him. Please say Musiala winning those tackles. Go for those shots, boy. It is a handball. It is a handball. It is a handball. Frankfurt has got those handball. Man, Manuel Neuer, look at him. He's so high up on the pitch. Davis pressing back. Pavlovic. Neuer again. I mean, apart from those substitutions, nothing has been looking going good. Why is Vincent Company making those jumping moments on the sidelines? In the previous game, he was seen having a big fall on the sidelines. He was nervous, it was quite evident. And on receiving and on about to receive that ball on the sidelines, he had a major fall. It was quite evident that he was looking nervous in the previous game. He had a bad fall on the sidelines. On the other hand, Liverpool and Manchester City, oh my god, so many substitutions Guardiola has made. Marmoush is out. Oh my god, Gundogan is in. De Bruyne is out. It is the time for Pep Guardiola to get rid of De Bruyne. It is now the end of the story, the end of that love affair between Kevin De Bruyne and Pep Guardiola on the pitch. James McTee has been brought in. Liverpool getting Robertson out and Tassimicas in. Olise with that shot. Not those clinical shots being happening. Jones from Liverpool dropping out, Indo coming in. Marmoush has been dropped. Gundogan coming in. Oh my god, Nathan Ake has been dropped. Ruben Diaz coming in. Nico Gonzalez coming out. Kovacic. Luis Diaz is out. Gakpo is in. My god, we had those news that Gakpo is down with some sort of injuries. I mean, the substitutions which Liverpool has still got. Oh my god, look at those substitutions from Manchester City. One, two, three, four. Whereas three substitutions from Arne Slot. 2 goals up. The stats 16 shots from Manchester City, but most of these shots were taken far off from the post. Nowhere near that was a threat for Liverpool to be happening. And Liverpool with this lineup has been really looking it so good, and at the top of the table they are dominating the Premier League, whereas Arsenal has bottled their chances, and with the lack of availability of their centre forward as well as those wings, nothing is happening. Nottingham Forest doing somewhat of good presence, but many points behind Liverpool. Manchester City dropping down maximum. It is now Newcastle and Manchester City on the same. Bournemouth at time doing good, but Chelsea also has bottled their chances. I mean, what has happened in the Premier League? Look at this table. And on the other hand, Brentford, Tottenham has clinched few points up. Manchester United, West Ham. It is a big disheartening story from Premier League because it is a one-way race for Liverpool this season, because Arsenal and Manchester City have dropped those points, and it is the likes of Chelsea, Manchester United, West Ham, Tottenham, all those hammers not getting those big moments. And over here, 16 shots from Manchester City, most of them have been wide of the box, nowhere near to get a threat. But here, now Frankfurt are making those changes. Alfonso Davies inside the box getting those interceptions. Passes that far to Sane. Sane, will he collect that good? Christensen has denied Leroy Sane. But what is that referee doing on the pitch? What referee is giving a yellow card to Christensen, or that is to Leroy Sane on the pitch? What is that? Refereeing is looking bit horrendous. Such a stank, man. Leroy Sane, man, Leroy Sane was tackled so bad. Leroy Sane was tackled so bad, and on his replication remarks, he has been given a yellow card. Refereeing is looking shit. Refereeing is looking shit. Some of the decisions from the starting of the stream, refereeing is looking bit shit for today. Refereeing is looking bit shit for today. Yellow. shit referral decisions ongoing. Leroy Sané takes that shot. My goodness, Leroy Sané, a piece of meat. I am talking it. Leroy Sané is a piece of meat. I am talking it again. Look at that. It was a shot to be taken. Oh my God. He had got Harry Kane. He has got Mo Salah. Leroy Sané is a big piece of shit on the pitch. You can't deny that. You can't deny that. My eyes couldn't take this pain anymore. My eyes just couldn't take this pain anymore from Leroy Sané. My goodness. How is Vincent Company going to handle this Sané? I mean, to talk about the big chances, Leroy Sané has got 3 big chances for scoring. I mean, they were quite clear. Apart from that, there were some shots also being taken. But he is missing it time and again. Leroy Sané is missing those shots time and again. This is the way, if you are playing, if you are getting those 2 or 3 goals as well, you will concede in those late 90 minutes or in those stoppage time. That is what happens. That is what happens. Frankfurt are making their move inside the box time and again. And anytime I can see a goal incoming. Anytime I can see a goal incoming for Frankfurt. Anytime I can see a goal incoming for Frankfurt. You can't deny that. Anytime I can see a goal incoming for Frankfurt. Anytime soon I can see a goal incoming for Frankfurt if Bayern are going to play like this, so relentlessly on the pitch. I mean, suddenly I don't find why Vincent Company is not making the substitution of Kingsley Coman. Dang. Kingsley Coman, talking about his performances, he has got those 3 goals and 3 assists. He has been given those 20 matches. But in terms of character, Coman has been steady. Coman has been steady. He has been making those approaches. He has got those 1005 minutes played, 264 games, 60 goals at Bayern. I mean, to more precise, it was 324. I mean, on that loan term, if we add those 68 goals in 324 matches, he has got those 1005 minutes as well. Leroy Sané again taking that from Olise, not being able to collect that ball. But in terms of goals, Sané has been making those numbers counting. Oh. It is a decision to either keep Sané or to keep Coman or to keep Gnabry. Which 2 are you going to pick? Which 2 are you going to pick? Out of Sané, Coman and Gnabry, which 2 are you going to pick? Because Sané has got those 206, 120 less games, but has scored 56. Whereas Coman has got 12 more goals in 100 games. Harry Kane goes for Sané again. What is Sané trying to do? And look at that counter which now Frankfurt will try to make. Suddenly, I am not looking those aspects from Leroy Sané. It is the time for Vincent Company to make those substitutions because those misses from Sané is going to be bit dangerous on those counters. Mo Salah speeding up. He is dribbling past Christensen. He has got that. Single-handedly he is going it. That is a shot being taken. Mo Salah gets it. That is what I'm talking it from Jamal Mo Salah. You are that single man. You can convert those. Big boys at Bavaria. Look at that goal from Musiala. That is what is expected from him to happen. I am impressed. I am impressed. I am impressed. I am really impressed. No words. All my words for Jamal Musiala, I take it back. I take it really back. It is what is needed from Musiala, man. You are that man capable of. He got past Christensen. Another man he got past. Somehow he got those deflections, but that finishing was good. That finishing was good. Those dribblings were good. Was Musiala single-handedly getting that goal. Good job, boy. Good job. He was lucky he got those deflections as well, but in the end he got those finishings. That was definitely good. I mean, Trapp, the goalkeeper from Germany, I mean Kevin Trapp, he got those touches as well, but it was a great finishing from Musiala. Finally, Musiala is on the score sheets. Finally, Musiala is on the score sheets. Oh my god, Musiala is looking injured. Oh my god. Get those substitutions, boy. Get those substitutions. Don't get those injuries. I think Musiala is having those pain which he is suffering from his childhood. That was a class finish from Musiala. He was predictable. He was trying to cut in, but he got that deflection and again regained that possession. That is what that is what a Bavaria kid you are known for. That is what the aspect which you have to show on the pitch. Big celebration from that number 42 young kid, Jamal Musiala. And please make those substitutions. Now it is the time for Musiala to drop down. Gnabry is seen on the pitch. Oman coming on to the pitch. Jamal Musiala getting those third goal. Big one. Big one. Gnabry coming on to the pitch. I mean, some movements from Leroy Sané for today has been a bit disastrous, but in the end, the stats are counting. Kingsley Coman has come in, Serge Gnabry has come in, and it is Jamal Musiala who has been dropped in and Olise has been dropped in, but Leroy Sané is still staying on the pitch. I mean, Leroy Sané, is he giving those bribes to Vincent Company to stay on the pitch? Is it that what is the need? 17 shots, 10 on target, 3 goals. Now the numbers are looking impressive. Now the numbers are looking impressive, but the chances which Sane has missed, I mean, 3 of the shots they could have been, I mean, 5 of those chances, 2 or 3 could have been converted from him. Davis goes for Coman, interception that is. Gnabry, Davis. Sane has now moved to the right wings, whereas the likes of Coman and Gnabry are staying on the left wings. Harry Kane passes that to Kim. Kim gets Goretzka, Upamecano, Eric Dyer, Lima. I would have wanted even Sacha Boey to come onto the pitch. Harry Kane. Harry Kane is not seen making those moves, rather he is sticking with those passes. But what was the need of making Harry Kane get those substitutions? He could have been given those rest. It could have been Gnabry who could have replaced Harry Kane. Kimmich is on an injury. That is also a big concern. The next game it is against the like of Stuttgart. But Stuttgart, will they make that count? Will Stuttgart make that count? They will definitely give a big fight. because the next fixture Bayern will be facing Stuttgart, and that will be a away game for Bayern, and at the MHP Arena, the home of Stuttgart. Oh my God. And after that, it will be the likes of Leverkusen at home, Bochum at home, and again Leverkusen for that away leg. This month, I mean, in the next 20 days, it will all be decided, all be sorted, that who is going to be on the top of the Bundesliga and who is going to get those next round of 16 wins. All will be decided. Future of Vincent Company will also be a stake if there is going to be some sort of bad happenings going on. And why is Vincent Company on the sidelines now, looking on, clapping on, and making some remarks on the players? What is he trying to do? Manchester City and Liverpool is now on those 4 minutes of stoppage time, and Liverpool again getting those 2-0 wins. The first leg, they got a win by 2-0, and in the month of December, and in the second leg as well, it is 2-0. Big wins. Manchester City dropping down points consistently, and now they are really making it look so bad, so annoying. I mean, look at that. It is those 5 minutes of stoppage time which is happening over at the Etihad, and Citizens are trailing by 2 goals. Salah and Szoboszlai have got those big numbers counting for Liverpool, but 16 shots. Liverpool only with those 8 and 4 on target, 2 shots. Big clinical finishings I'm talking about. 632 passes. Manchester City mostly on those centre backs. 306 from Liverpool in those build-ups. Not bad. 91% accuracy. It is those shots which Guardiola's man, Leroy Sané again. Will he make that move? Inside the box, he gets a cross that is Gnabry. No, denied by Christensen. And to talk about the fixtures of Manchester City next, they have got Tottenham, it is Plymouth in their FA Cup, it is Nottingham Forest, it is Brighton, it is Leicester, and it is Man United on the 5th of April. Still many big games left for Manchester City to come on, but the title race has now come to an end for the Citizens, losing it to Real Madrid, losing it to Liverpool. Davies gets that to Harry Kane, take that shot. That is a corner. And for Liverpool in their next fixtures, if we talk about, it is next they have Newcastle, it is PSG for the Champions League, Southampton in between, again PSG for the second leg, which they will have the advantage of playing home. But it is Newcastle which they will play in just 20 days odd time in the Premier League and in the EFL Cup. That is a big one. The EFL Cup final, which Newcastle and Liverpool will face each other. That will be the first silverware for Arne Slot if they are going to get those wins out of it. The EFL Cup, the championship, is definitely going to be the first silverware if Liverpool are getting those moments happening. And to talk about Bayern on this aspect, winning it by 3-0, they have been on the top of the table, but an 8-point Gnabry inside the box. Oh my God, Serge Gnabry has moved it. My goodness, Serge Gnabry has got that. It was a finishing which wasn't expected from my side. Serge Gnabry has got it. Can you believe that? Can you believe that? It is Serge Gnabry, chef, who has got that goal, and that was a clinical finishing to it. Oh man, got that to Gnabry. Look at that speed from Gnabry, and he took that shot in between the legs of Trap. In between the legs of Trap, the goalkeeper for Frankfurt, and Gnabry gets a goal counting in his bag. Oh my god, is this the start of the season for Serge Gnabry, Leroy Sané, Kingsley Coman? That is the end over here at the Alliance Arena, and not to deny the fact, Bayern have won it big time, 4-0 win against Frankfurt. The previous game it was 3-3, but that was a different story because Omar Marmoush was the man who was there and he did it so good. He got those equalizers in those stoppage time, but this time Frankfurt is not with Omar Marmoush, but to talk about their lineups, they have found the replacement for Omar Marmoush. I mean, to talk about this player which Frankfurt has got, it is their number 20s, Can Uzun, the man. They have got those numbers talking for him. But unfortunately, he was substituted in just the starting of the second half. It was ATTK who was not having those 10 moves. But Frankfurt losing it by big time 4-0, and Bayern has got those previous first leg redemption against Frankfurt. The previous one was a draw, and this one it is a 4-0 win. Big win for Vincent Kompany as in man. But the most happening thing was that the goals of Mikel Olise, Hiroki Ito, Jamal Musiala has got a goal, Gnabry has got a goal. That is the most satisfaction I would get. And if you talk about the game which was happening, it was really something which was big going to happen because Bayern were looking good in their composure, but in the clinical finishings from Leroy Sané, he was a disaster. Leroy Sané was a big disaster for today's game, and it is the stats: 19 shots from Bayern, 12 on target, 4 goals. I would take it easy, but Leroy Sané could have got at least 2 or 3 more goals. That could have been a finishing, and a 5 or 6 or 7 goals would have been more good to it, adding to those misses of Leroy Sané. And on the other hand, Liverpool and the likes of Manchester City has also ended. And yes, to talk about the table, it is Liverpool at the top and Manchester City still at the 4th spot, but Newcastle and Manchester City are at same points, but due to those goal differences, City are still dominating in the top 4 positions. But will they add it more, or will they drop down more and miss the Champions League as well the next season? But looking at the stats of this game, it was clinical finishing from Mo Salah, Szoboszlai getting those first half goals, and Manchester City with those 16 shots, most of them outside the box, not getting those clinical moments. And Manchester City, Pep Guardiola is reeling though, missing those big times. This is the match which we're having, and Liverpool with this lineup from Arne Slot were looking it so good on the pitch, no denying the fact. On the other hand, we also had the watch of Real Madrid and Girona. I mean, this game, it was a classic one. Real Madrid has found their new character as well. I mean, Modric getting those goals, that was something, a brilliant super class from Modric. Vinicius Jr. as well getting those goals, 22 shots which Real Madrid took, but Mbappe couldn't get any of those clinical finishings somehow. It was Girona who were just relying on their centre backs, I mean on their defensive midfields of Romero, as well as in the lineups. If you talk about, it was the likes of Gazzaniga, the goalkeeper for Girona, who might have got those big saves, and he performed it big. But Luka Modric getting those goals in the first half, and that was the game-changing moment just on the edge of the first half. I mean, completion of the first half, he got that so good. And Real Madrid have won their last 4 La Liga games against Girona without conceding a goal. That is a big stats. Real Madrid beating 8 big against Girona, but in the La Liga table, if we talk about, it is Barcelona at the top, but in same points, 54-54 with Real Madrid. The goal difference is what Barcelona is boasting of in the top spot. But talk about the fixtures of Barcelona, they have got the likes of Leganes, Real Sociedad, Las Palmas they have won, and they have also got Atletico Madrid 3 times. Big ones for Barcelona as well, but Real Madrid also have to face Atletico Madrid. What is going to be Atletico Madrid cooking in? They have to face Barcelona 2 legs, 3 legs. They have to face Real Madrid 2 legs. Oh my God. Simeone has to get his men ready for those 90 minutes. This month will be a big one. Big one. I mean, this big month in the La Liga as well as in the Bundesliga. This will be a title decider as well as it will be the decider for the round of 16. I mean, who are going to get those next tickets in the Champions League. These were with the watch-alongs which were having Real Madrid and the likes of Girona in the previous one as well. And yes, the Mohun Bagan Super Giants from the Indian Super League has also got those big wins. And definitely, they have clinched the ISL this season. Only 2 games which Mohun Bagan has to play. And in the stats, they are now 9 points ahead of their second spot holder FC Goa. 2 games in hand. Mohun Bagan, if they get a loss also, then also they are going to get the hold of the Indian Super League. The reigning champions Mohun Bagan Super Giants, Sobuj and Maroon are also this season the champions of the Indian Super League as well. So yes, we were having the watch along of these matches. Mohun Bagan Super Giants against Odisha FC in the Indian Super League, which resulted in a win of Mohun Bagan. Real Madrid and Girona. Real Madrid also getting those top spots in the La Liga against Girona. And Bayern and Frankfurt. Bayern winning it big time against Frankfurt, but Leroy Sané was the man. I am not totally impressed by his performance. But Musiala and Gnabry getting those goals will add that to some boost. This title deciding month as well as the Champions League deciding month for both Bayern and Leverkusen, and has got those games against Frankfurt, Stuttgart and Leverkusen also has got those games against Stuttgart, Frankfurt as well as Bayern for those 2 legs. It will be the title decider for the Bundesliga, it will be the title decider for the La Liga as well as it will be the decider for the next round of Champions League. Who are going to get it? It is going to be Real Madrid, La Liga. From the La Liga, it will be going to be Real Madrid, Barcelona, or it is Atletico Madrid. And from the Bundesliga, it will be going to be Bayern, or it is going to be Leverkusen. Title deciding month, the month of March, which is coming on. And on the other hand, Liverpool are doing it so good again, and Arne Slot in the second leg against Manchester City, which we were having the watch along. Liverpool has got those 2 goals win against Manchester City. Mo Salah getting those clinical finishings, doing it good, and Liverpool at the top of the Premier League table, 27 matches, 64. My goodness, Arsenal getting those injuries with their forwards have clinched the second spot, but it is those 11 points which Arsenal is on a deficit. That is a big one. That is a big one. And also in the world of cricket, it was India and Pakistan. And Pakistan, I think, with this loss, might have got those exits from the SEC Champions Trophy or not. I'm not so sure about it. But they have lost it because Pakistan batting first made 241 in the cricket SEC Champions Trophy in 49.4 overs, whereas India got that 244 for 4 wickets in just 42.3 overs. India won by 6 wickets and 45 balls left to have those net practices. That is a big win. And yes, we were also having the poll section on the chat that who is going to get those wins. It was the Liverpool Reds, which we got those 35% votes. It is the less blue citizens getting those 35% votes. It is the Bavaria Bayern. We got those 50% votes, and no one voted for Frankfurt. Oh my God. That poll has been ended. And yes, we are also going to end this live stream over here because back to back we had those 2 watch alongs for today, and I'm a bit tired and I need a good sleep. bye from my side. And yes, we will be having the watch along coming on. Tomorrow we will be uploading the video of what happened this weekend in the La Liga, the Premier League, the Serie A, the Bundesliga, in the Indian Super League, and what are those predictions in the Champions League. But the predictions of the Champions League, we will make it before the 8th of March. On those 6th or 7th of March, we will make it, because see, if now we are making those predictions of the Champions League, it is of no use, because this season we having those big matches played. If the injuries of the players are happening on those 3rd or 4th or 5th of March, then on the 7th of March, just one day before the Champions League, we will get to make the predictions good, because when two teams are going on a clash with each other, and if some of the players are not injured, how can you make the predictions so early in the Champions League? Damn, that is disheartening. I was seeing that many videos where they're on those social media platforms in Facebook, Twitter, and YouTube, wherever, and guys are making those predictions. My God, is it for the sake of those views you are making those videos? Damn it, damn it, damn it. Don't make it, don't waste it. Predictions are definitely made just one day prior to it, where the bookmakers are going to make those decisions. Apart from that, tomorrow morning we will be just uploading the weekend matches which happened in the top 5 leagues as well as in the Indian Super League. And the watch alongs which we will be having next is tomorrow. There is not much game we will be having, as well as Tuesday night there is the game between Inter and Lazio, as well as Barcelona and Atletico Madrid late at night, Copa del Rey semi-final. That is the first leg which will be played, and it is at the home of Barcelona. We can't call that a home, but a stadium which they are playing it, and it is the Stadio Luis Company Stadium which they are. But when is Camp Nou going to be ready? Barcelona, when they are going to get those financial relaxations? That is also a big question in my mind, and I'm not seeing anything incoming this season as well. So it is the Tuesday night. We will be having the watch along of Inter and Lazio and the Copa del Rey first clash between Barcelona and Atletico Madrid. And after that, we will be uploading the other videos. Apart from that, good night from my end. And yes, all the wins for the Los Blancos, all the wins for the Mohan Bagan Super Giants, all the wins for the Bayern Munich. What more do you expect to happen? Everything is looking good, and adding more cherry on the top, it is India who has beaten Pakistan in the cricket. Good night and keep going.